African Human Rights Commission has received reports of racial tensions in some Durban communities, and this is, of course, in the aftermath of widespread looting. Police Minister Bheki Cele is set to visit Phoenix once again this morning. This after 20 more people were killed, allegedly by criminals and vigilantes. Let's get some responses now on this with the Human Rights Commissioner, Advocate Andre Gaum. Thank you for your time, Advocate, and good morning to you. I suppose starting here, the SA Human Rights response, or perhaps your reaction to what's happening currently right now in Durban, particularly in Phoenix, where we're seeing these racial tensions?
Yes, we are obviously very concerned about racial tensions and would like to call not only on the people of KwaZulu-Natal but on all South Africans to make sure that they do not unfairly discriminate, but also that they heed to the call of unity and diversity in our country. The Commission has, however, received numerous complaints regarding racial profiling in the KwaZulu-Natal province over the last few days. And the complaints allege basically that certain supermarkets are unfairly discriminating against black or African people on the basis of their race by restricting them from entering stores whilst granting access to other races. The incidents are alleged to have taken place at Spar shops in Hilton area, Park Lane in Pietermaritzburg, and Lakeside in Richards Bay. Other complaints that we receive also point to a lack of access to medication and food during this time. The Commission is considering the complaints we have received and assessing these complaints and determining the facts behind it. And the Commission has also received correspondence from Spar in this regard. It is still an early stage in the Commission's investigation, and we will provide more details in due course, specifically with regard to the racial profiling issue. However, should stores or any persons be partaking in such unfair discriminatory practices, it should be stopped immediately. Such actions, if true, have indeed the potential to escalate what is an already volatile situation by introducing unnecessary racial tension.
And Advocate, just in terms of your response rate here, I mean, you can imagine South Africans feeling that their constitutional rights here have been infringed upon. The freedom of movement, the freedom to walk into a store and be able to purchase whatever without being profiled due to these lootings. What are the consequences for those who are found guilty? You did mention that it's still early in terms of investigations and preliminary assessments that you're undertaking at this point. I do understand, but for those who would be found guilty in this instance, what are the consequences they face?
Well, if the Commission would, for example, decide to take one or more of these cases to the Equality Court, then there are certain remedies that one can request from the Equality Court, including matters with regard to sensitivity and diversity training, but also in terms of having to pay an amount of money as a result of that, maybe to civil society institution or NGO, whatever the case may be. So there are various remedies possible in terms of the Equality Act.
Yeah. With that being said, should we expect, these racial tensions to spiral out of control, given your assessment and just your investigations at this point? Should we expect them to also not hit KwaZulu-Natal, but also target other provinces? Is there any warning that you can give South Africans, just due to experience in terms of racial tensions and the history that this country beckons? What should we expect?
Well, that is really not for me to say at this point in time. I hope, obviously, and the South African Human Rights Commission hope that peace would return, that there wouldn't be racial tensions, and that it would stop. And we are asking South Africans to heed to our call, to really reach out to each other in these days rather than creating racial tension. We hope and we trust that this will be only limited instances that we can nip in the bud as soon as possible.
All right, we leave it there. South African Human Rights Commissioner, that is Advocate, of course, Andre Gaum, joining us there, talking about some of the racial tensions we are experiencing in the country, particularly in parts of KwaZulu-Natal such as Phoenix. Thank you for your time.